The Logan 450 Intermediate Plus features a 40-inch baseboard, a hinging guide rail, a 90-degree squaring bar, and a parallel mat guide. Included on the guide rail is a scaled production stop. Cutting heads included with the 450 Plus is a pivot and pull bevel cutter that features an anti-crawl pin and the start and stop indicator, along with a 701 straight cutter with 3 blade depth settings. To install a blade in the bevel cutter, first loosen the retaining screw on the back of the bevel cutting head. Rotate the chrome blade holder up as high as it'll go and loosen the blade holding knob. Insert one Logan number 270 blade as far as it will go into the chrome blade holder and retighten the blade holding knob. Rotate the blade holder down so the blade goes through the slot and retighten the retaining screw on the back. To install a blade on the Logan 701 straight cutter, first remove the chrome knurled knob and the metal blade cover. The straight cutter has 3 depth settings: the top setting for safety for storing a blade, the center hole for cutting standard thickness mat board, and the lower hole for cutting 3/16 foam board. In this case, we're going to downsize mat board and use the center hole. Line the blade up on the center hole and replace the blade cover. Reinsert the chrome knurled screw. To bevel cut a 3-inch opening on a blank piece of mat board, first set the parallel mat guide to the 3-inch mark and tighten both knobs in place. Always use a backing sheet when bevel cutting. Insert your blank mat board piece color side down against the mat guide and down against the squaring bar, and set the guide rail down on top of it. Use a pencil to draw 4 lines along the back of the mat board. Hook the bevel cutting head onto the edge of the guide rail and line up the start and stop indicator on the cutting head with the drawn pencil line. Use the anti-crawl pin, insert the blade, release the pin, and pull back to your lower line. Repeat this process all 4 sides. After the 4th cut, the window will drop free of the mat and you'll have a perfectly beveled 3-inch bordered mat. To cut the same 3-inch bordered mat using the production stops, first install the backing sheet and the piece of mat board color side down against the mat guide and down against the squaring bar. Install the production stop onto the guide rail, slide to the 3-inch mark and lock in place. Use a pencil to draw 1 line along the back of the mat board and rotate the mat a 1/4 turn to the right. Now hook the bevel cutting head onto the rail at the far line. Line up the start and stop indicator on the bevel cutting head with the pencil line. Use the anti-crawl pin, insert the blade, and cut back until you gently make contact with the lower production stop. As you rotate the mat to continue cutting, the cut line in the back of the mat board tells you where your next cut begins. Insert the blade, pull straight back until you make contact with the bottom production stop. After the 4th cut, the window will drop free and you have a perfectly beveled 3-inch bordered mat. Notice the perfect 90-degree corners and bevel cut. To make a straight cut, first remove the production stop, the backing sheet, and the parallel mat guide from the machine. Place a pre-marked piece of mat board color side down under the guide rail, lining the pencil line along the aluminum guide rail. Hook the straight cutter onto the rail, Grasp firmly and pull straight back towards yourself. To reinstall the parallel mat guide, see that both knobs are loosened 3 or 4 turns and drop both wedges into the parallel slots at the same time.